Okay, we'll begin our Pilates ring workout lying on our backs with our knees up and our feet on the floor. Let's bring our hands to our bellies. You can go ahead and close your eyes here just for a couple minutes and start to breathe a little more deeply, a little more intentionally. Bring your focus into your body and what you're about to do. Getting the most out of this workout that you can by challenging yourself, respecting whatever limitations you might have, adapting and resting when you need to rest. Let's take our arms out to the side here, and with the feet as wide as the mat, let's just lower both knees to one side and then the other, back and forth like windshield wipers, starting to bring some movement in here as we get warmed up. Couple more like it, back and forth, nice and slow, controlled movement. Bring them back up to center here. Walk the feet a little closer together and then hug the knees toward your forehead. Let the feet come down, head come down. And then exhale, hug the knees in, lifting the head and the shoulders up toward the knees. Good, inhale, release. Exhale, hug together and start to really squeeze your belly button down on that exhale. So you're breathing all the air out. Squeezing to breathe that air out. Good, inhale, feet touch down, head touches down. Exhale, hug it all together. Good, couple more. And then let's stretch the legs out, arms out here, and just reach as far as you can in both directions. And go ahead and grab your ring. We'll get started here with the ring between your legs, but one leg forward, one leg back. So the ring is up by your ankles there. One leg is ahead of the other, shoulders are up, chin is on the chest, arms are by your side, and then lower your legs toward the floor. We're inhaling for 5 pulses of the arms, exhaling for 5. So if you need to make this a little easier, bring those legs back up so they're a little more vertical, a little more above your hips. If you want to make it harder, you take the legs closer to the floor, but make sure the back is strong and neutral, the belly button squeezing down. So keep breathing here, strong pulses. Really intentional with that movement of your arms as well. It's not an afterthought, it's part of it, right? So exhale 5, inhale 5. If the head needs to rest down at some point, that's okay. It takes time for those muscles to get used to holding up as well. Good, now let's lower the head, lift the legs back up above your hips, and we're going to squeeze them together and release. So just squeeze that ring and then let it go. Nice controlled movement. Squeeze and release, good. Giving as much squeeze to it as you can and as you want. So it's up to you here how hard this becomes, right? Because we can always squeeze a little harder. And you know if you need to rest, take that rest. Good, back is neutral, belly button down, those abs are still engaged. Good, take the ring out here, shake it out a little bit. And we're just going to switch the leg that is forward and the leg that is back. So go ahead and put the ring back in between your ankles. The other leg is forward this time. Roll the chin up, shoulders up. Lower those legs to that point where you want to work, and then begin pulsing the arms, inhaling for 5, exhaling for 5. Good, belly button squeezes down. Use those strong exhales. Breathe all that air out. Intentional movement of the arms. Good, keep it going. Reaching those fingertips forward like you would touch the edge of the mat. Keep breathing, couple more. Good, you can do it. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Good, and then let the head rest down, lift those legs back up, and we'll squeeze the ring tight and let it go. Squeeze and release. Good, keeping those feet flexed here. Breathing, breathing. Good. Let that go. Shake it out a little bit. Maybe hug the knees to the chest, rock a little side to side. And then let's take the ring now back between the legs, this time bringing the legs inside the ring. So you're still going to have one forward, one back, but your legs are inside the ring. And we're going to lower them toward the floor and then bring them back up. So you're lowering as low as you can without letting the back lift way up off the ground, okay? So be very mindful of that, keeping your back neutral, keeping the belly button squeezed toward the spine. And as you pull the legs up, you're pulling with strength, not momentum. So get them pulled up there and squeeze for a second rather than letting them bounce back down. Good. Moving through the deepest range of motion you have, the deepest range you want, to make it as challenging as you want. Good, and then hold them up, and now we're pulsing by pulling the legs away from each other, or pushing them away from each other, squeezing that ring out. Good, it's going to be a very small movement, but you'll feel it. Keeping the feet flexed, keeping the legs as straight as you can. Good, let that go. Shake it out a little bit. Just to mix it up here, we'll bring our feet to the floor. You can set the ring aside on this first one. So your feet are as wide as your hips. We're going to lift the hips up off the ground in that bridge. Hips, knees, and ankles all stay in the same line. So you're pushing into the inner edge of your foot as well as the outer edge. Keep those toes anchored to the floor as well. Strong press up. Use your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Nice slow movement. Good, almost there. Strong squeeze, good, lift and hold it up there. Still breathing, and then slowly lower down. Grab your ring again, put them back, put your legs back inside the ring, and switch the leg that is forward. Arms by your side, and we'll lower both legs toward the floor and then bring them both back up. Again, squeezing at the top, using strength rather than momentum. Keeping the back neutral, so shortening that distance. We don't have to lower all the way down. Do what you need to do. Couple more like it. Doing great. Hang in there. Good. And then hold them up above your hips and press your legs away from each other, pressing against that ring. Feet stay flexed. Both legs are pushing. Good, and let that go. We'll bring the feet back to the floor, knees, hips, and ankles all in the same line. And this time, if you want to use that ring for extra resistance on your bridge, you can. So you bring it kind of to your pubic bone or maybe your lower abs, wherever it's comfortable against your hips there. And then place your hands on the top and don't let the hands move. So you're squeezing the ring toward your hands as you lift your hips. If it bothers you with the ring, if it's just not comfortable against your belly there, against your hips, just set the ring down and do these like we did on that first set without the ring. Otherwise, getting that little extra resistance, really press your hands down into your ring against your hips. Couple more. Double check that those inner edges of your feet are still pressing down as well, not just the outer edge. Good, lift and hold it up there, release your ring, but keep the hips up high. Good. Hold and breathe, and slowly let the hips come back down. Good work. You can bring your knees in. We're going to bring the feet on either side of the ring now. The ring is between your ankles. Turn your legs out from the hips a little bit. Point the toes, and then we're making circles here. So you're going to switch directions at the top of each circle, and I really want you to focus on pulling your legs to a strong stop. Okay, don't let them float past that stopping point. Make sure they're stopping right in the center and make that direction change quick. That's going to make it more challenging for you. Again, we're using strength to bring the legs toward us, and we're keeping the legs as straight as we can. Good, keep circling. Switching directions each time. Good, you can make this circle a little bit bigger if you'd like, as long as your back is staying neutral. If you feel a big arch happening in your back, we know we're going too far. The stronger we get, the deeper we can take that circle without that big arch. Good, a couple more like it. You're there. Nice. And now flex your feet here and squeeze the rings. You're just squeezing your legs toward each other and releasing. Squeeze and release. Good. Keeping your legs as straight as you can. That's part of the work, right? Feet are flexed. Legs are strong and straight. Squeeze, 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 release. Couple more. Good. And let it go. Shake it out a little bit. Good. And from here, placing your feet on the floor, knees up, we're going to keep the ring in our hands and bring it right up above our shoulders. With your exhale, crunch up. At the top of your crunch, squeeze the ring and then bring it down. So exhale, crunch and squeeze, release the squeeze, and bring your shoulders down. Exhale, crunch and squeeze, release the squeeze, and lower down. Good. Keep going. And as you're crunching up, again, think about pressing your belly button down. Squeeze your abs tight toward the floor. Good. Stay intentional. So it's lift, it's a squeeze, it's a release, and it's a lower. Clean, precise movement all the time, focusing on that form when we get tired. Good, getting as much lift under your shoulders as you can there. Good, and then let the head come down and rest. Bring your elbows down to the floor or hovering just above the floor. And right here, we're just going to squeeze and release the ring. So squeeze, release, release. Keeping your elbows right there by your rib cage. Wrists are right above your elbows. So the ring is above your ribs, above your belly. Keep breathing as you go. And again, giving it as much squeeze as you'd like, as hard as you'd like to work. Good, relax. Let's bring the ring back up around our ankles this time. So our feet are on the inside of the ring. Point those toes. Again, get that external rotation at the hip, and we're coming back to our circle, back to our corkscrews. So again, you're pulling those legs to a strong stop at the top of the circle and switching directions quickly. So you're not lingering at that stopped point. You're getting right back in to the circle in the other direction. I love this exercise. It's one of my favorites. It's just so effective. You feel so much work happening. Good. Keep it up. Keep those legs straight and strong. Keep them rotating out from the hip, that external rotation, so the kneecaps point to the sides a little bit. Almost. Good. Relax, flex your feet, and then squeeze the ring out. So push your legs out against the ring and release. Again, strong movement. When you get it squeezed out, give it that split-second hold, just so you know you're in control and you're not bouncing with the ring. Again, keep the legs as straight as you can. Ankles right above your hips there. Good. Let that go. Very nice. Feet to the floor. Knees up. And we'll bring the ring again above the shoulders in the hands. Hands are on the outside of the ring. And as we exhale, squeeze it up and then squeeze the ring. Release the ring and lower down. Lift the shoulders, squeeze the ring. Release the ring, lower the shoulders. Good, keep going. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Getting as much lift under your shoulders as you can, really squeezing the abs down. Couple more like it. Keep going. You got it. Good, and then lower the elbows down by your sides. Keep the wrists there above your elbows, and we'll just squeeze the ring and release. Squeeze and release. Getting quite a few in here. Again, keep that movement controlled. Good, a few more like it. Just keep it going, keep it going. Nice and steady. Use your breath. Almost there. We're just going to burn that up. Good. Strong squeeze, strong squeeze. Good. Hang in. Couple more, couple more. Keep it going if you can. Good. And relax. Nice work. From here, let's roll onto our side. Whichever side you'd like to start with is fine. I'm on my right side. I'm going to lower all the way down, so I'm resting my head in my right hand. The ring is going to come between the legs, but again, one leg forward, one leg back. So take some time to get that set up. One leg forward. I've got my top leg forward to start, left leg forward, right leg back. And from here, you can rest your hand on the floor in front of you, your hand on your hip or behind your head, and we're going to lift both legs up and lower down. So you're lifting that ring and then lowering it toward the floor. It's a small movement, but we're keeping it controlled. If you've got your hand on the floor, try not to push into it too much. Try not to rely on it. Use that strength for your balance. It's just there to catch you if you need it. Good. Relax that. And now bend your knees. Take the ring off. We're going to slide up on the elbow now. Make sure that your elbow is below your shoulder. Your knees are bent to about 90 degrees, so your feet are behind you. And we'll bring the ring to rest right on your hip there, wherever it's comfortable. You're going to lift the hips up into the ring, and your top hand is holding the ring in place, so you're squeezing the ring as you lift the hips. So as you lower the hips, you're not quite touching the floor. Just let them hover above the floor, and then lift up, pressing into the ring. Good, just like it. Keep it going. Good, nice. And then lower the hips down. Bring the ring back between your legs. And this time we're putting the other leg back. So I've got the top leg back this time, the bottom leg forward. Resting all the way down on the elbow there, so your head is in your hand. Finding your balance. And then lifting and lowering again here. Not a large movement, just a little movement up and down. Very nice. Relax. Go ahead and bring your ring into your hand. And we can do the same thing we did before with the knees bent. So you're doing it from your knees, or if you want to make it a little more challenging, do this one with straight legs from your feet. So still in the side plank on your elbow, get that set, squeeze that ring against your hip. This time you're holding the hip stable and you're using your arm to press the ring. So the hips are staying right where they are. Again, you can do this from your knees, just like we set it up before, or up here in a full elbow side plank on your feet. Good. Hold those hips stable. Keep them up. And release. Good. Let's switch sides. Starting with the ring between the ankles. Again, the top leg is going to be forward. The bottom leg back. Get that set. Lower all the way down to your elbow, head in your hand. Find your balance. Core is strong and tight, and then lift both legs together, lifting that ring up off the floor. Good, almost there. Keep breathing as you go. Strong, controlled lift. Good, let it go. Let's bend the knees about 90 degrees so your feet are behind you. Come up onto that elbow, checking that the elbow is below the shoulder. Ring is on your hip. And you're pressing the hips up into the ring, holding it in place with your hands so you get that squeeze against the ring every time you lift your hips. Good. As you lower them, remember, don't quite let them rest on the floor. Make sure they're just hovering above the floor. Keep it going. I love this plank pulse. Good. Bring the hips down. We'll take the ring back between our ankles. Again, this time switch the legs. So the top leg is going to be back. The bottom leg is going to be forward. Get them straight if you can, resting all the way down on your elbow, head in your hands, and we'll lift and lower. Good, a few more like it. Hang in there nice and strong, lift with control. You've got it, keep it up. Good, and then let it rest. And again, your choice to set this up in a kneeling plank with your feet behind you, or to set it up in a full plank with your legs straight. Just make sure your elbow again below your shoulder. Ring is on the hip, and this time we're coming up to that plank, holding it strong, and then just pressing the hand down into the ring. So make sure those hips are stable. No movement there, just at the arm. Really nice. Just a couple more. Good. Lower the hips down. Nice work. Now we're going to move on to our bellies. So keep that ring handy. Go ahead and grab it and bring it behind you. And you're going to hold it right about at your hips or so with your hands on either side. And you're not going to be putting a lot of pressure on it. But to start with, we're going to lift that ring up onto our backs here, resting one side of your face down on the floor, and let your elbows come down to the floor as far as they can. From here, we're going to kick 3 times with both legs. Bring the feet back to the floor and then lift the chest up, reach that ring back. Good, lower down, resting the other side of your face on the floor. Ring is up a little higher. Kick 3 times and then stretch it back. Good. Bring that ring up. Let the elbows relax down. Other side of your face. Kick 3 times. And then straighten the legs. Lift the chest. Good. Again, you're not really putting a lot of pressure of your hands toward the ring. You're just holding the ring. Good. Reach it back. Strong. Good. Bring it up. Kick 2, 3, and inhale. Reach. Lifting the chest. Head comes up. Good. Keep going. Just like that. A few more. Strong intentional movement with those kicks as well. Really precise. Hamstrings are strong. Beautiful. Good. Almost there. Good. That back strength and flexibility is so important. Let's lift and hold. If you'd like, go ahead and bring your legs up as well and hold. Keep breathing as you hold. We're looking down at the floor in front of the mat so the neck is in line with the rest of the spine there. Good. And relax. You can rest one side of your face down and just let your body feel heavy against the floor. Give it a little break before we move on. Good. Switch sides of your face, resting the other cheek down. Still relaxed. Good. Now grab the ring and place it between your ankles here. Straighten the legs, holding the ring up above the floor. And then lift your chest up, and if you'd like, stretch those arms back. We're going to hold, and you could just stay here, or you could start to squeeze the ring with your ankles. Squeeze them toward each other. Keep the chest lifting. Keep those arms reaching like you're trying to touch the ring with your fingertips. It's a strong, intentional reach back. Again, looking down at the floor in front of your mat. And relax. Good. Resting one side of your face down again. We'll take the ring back in your hands. Move it up your back a little bit. And then kick 1, 2, 3. Straighten the legs and lift and reach. Good. That second set. Resting down the other side of your face. Lift the ring high. And then 1, 2, 3. Good. Reach. Keep it going. Nice and strong. Slow, intentional movement. Really nice, good. We're still going, hang in there, a couple more. Good, good. Getting as much lift as you can every time. Use your breath to help you. Inhale up. Good. And this time let's hold it. And again, if you'd like to lift your legs up as well, just keep them straight. Try to squeeze them tight together. Good. And rest. Nice. Nice, deep, steady breaths here. Let's turn the head so the other side of the face is down. And then grab the ring and bring it between your ankles again here. Straighten the legs back behind you, holding that ring up just above the floor. Hands can be by your shoulders there, pressing into the ground as your shoulders lift, chest lifts, or reach your hands back like you're going to try to grab the ring. And then if you want that added bonus, just squeezing the ankles toward each other, squeezing that ring. Good, neck in line with the rest of the spine. So we're looking down at the floor in front of the mat. You don't want your head to drop all the way down so you're looking directly below you, and you don't want to lift it up so you're looking at the wall. Keep it neutral. Good, let's relax, nice work. Taking one more little rest here on the floor, letting those muscles be soft. Turning your head so both sides are equal. And then bring your hands below your shoulders here. Engage your core so you're lifting up through that plank or a kneeling plank. Bring your hips up above your knees. Stretch your arms forward and let your head come down to the floor. Keep some weight under your palms here. You'll just feel that nice stretch through your shoulders and your back. Slowing it on down. Press into your hands a little bit to get your shoulders lifting up, and then sit all the way back here to a child's pose. You can bring your hands under your forehead if your forehead doesn't quite touch the floor, or take your arms by your sides, palms up. Taking a couple of deep breaths, enjoying that gentle rounding of your spine. Focusing on those steady breaths, long inhales, long exhales. Bringing on some recovery and relaxation. Feeling your belly press against your legs as you inhale. And nice and easy, let's roll it on up. So we're sitting on our heels, and then bring the legs around in front of you. Let's cross the right ankle over that left knee. Your hands can be behind you, fingers pointed back, whatever's comfortable, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. So your spine is long, you're bringing your heart forward toward the knee. And then you can walk that left foot in as much as you need to get the stretch you want in your right hip. Good, let that go. Keep your right leg crossed over. Sit as tall as you can as you hug that knee with your left arm, and then bring your right arm up above the head and behind you, following it into that twist. Anytime we twist, we want to be long in the spine first. So keep thinking about sitting tall and then using your exhales to see if there's a little more space to twist. Both sit bones on the ground. Good, inhale, bring that right arm back up as you turn forward again, and then twist the other way just a little bit, like halfway, just for a second. Good, let's switch our legs here. Bring your arms behind you again, cross your left leg over your right, and then walk that right foot in. Keep that left foot flexed, lift the heart up, shoulders low. Take a few breaths here. Release that. Stretching the right leg out, keeping that left leg crossed over, the foot flat on the floor as best you can. Sit up tall, hug the left leg with the right arm, and then inhale, left arm up and behind you, twisting that direction, using your inhales to create space, to lengthen the spine, and exhales to twist a little bit further, just checking in, seeing if there's more space. Good. Unwind that and take it the other way about halfway. Good. We'll let that go. Let's bring the soles of our feet together and place them a little bit away from the body so your knees are falling open to the side, and you can fold right forward between your knees, holding your feet but not pulling up on the feet. So keep the feet anchored to the floor, and then you can move your elbows toward your shins or maybe past your shins toward the floor. Good. Sit up tall again. We'll stretch our legs straight out in front of us. Find that length in your spine as you inhale, reach the arms overhead, and exhale, fold forward. Hands are reaching maybe for your feet, but if not, your ankles or your calves or even your hamstrings. Think about keeping the spine long, taking the heart toward the toes, not down toward the knees, but forward toward the end of your mat. Inhale, reach forward and up. Strong, flat back like it's against a wall. And then bring your arms back down. I'm just turning here so you can see, but you can stay where you are. Let's bring one hand to the floor and reach that other arm up and over. Both sit bones stay down. We're just getting that deep opening in your side. Resting on the palm or down to the elbow. As long as you can keep that sit bone down, feel free to lower down to your elbow, go a little deeper. Good, let's inhale up. We'll switch sides. Good, bring it back up to center. Take a nice deep breath. Both arms reach up high above the head. Exhale, both arms down to your side, and we'll call it a day. Great work. Thanks for joining me.